You're 100 miles underneath the ocean, and you only have 10 minutes of oxygen left. What do you do? And are you going to make it? You know, in those last few minutes, what's going through your mind, and what is everybody else above you doing to save you? That is the scenario that pretty much encapsulates the movie Last Breath. And guess what? I just saw it, and I have some thoughts on this movie.
Starting transmission.
Past Monday, me and my wife went and saw at the Harkins Secret screening. We saw Last Breath. This is a movie starring Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, and Finn Cole. And this movie is about three seasonal deep sea divers who are diving into the North Sea. They're going down there to fix up some pipes. You know, it's routine for these guys to go do this. And while they're down there, there's a huge storm that's going on above them. And this storm is causing some craziness to go on. And from there, there's an accident that happens. And one of our divers is left down there at the bottom of the ocean with only about less than 10 minutes of oxygen left. And they're raced against the clock to come and save their friend. And these divers are now at the mercy of time, the weather, and all the odds against them. And that is the story of Last Breath in a nutshell. I don't want to give away any more than that, so without further ado, let's dive on into the story. All right, before I start the review of the movie, I'm going to say this: there's no spoilers. I'm going to try not to give away anything because I believe this is a movie that you'll want to go in clear-headed and have nothing spoiling for you. There's a documentary out there called Last Breath, and the documentary is this movie. And it has the real footage and everything that went on during this, the deep sea divers as they're fixing the pipes at the North Sea. And I'm going to say, do not go see this documentary. Not right away. I recommend seeing the documentary after you see this movie because there are things that you're going to be hard to believe. And actually watching the documentary really opens your eyes as to what these guys were facing while they're in the bottom of the ocean. Let's talk about the cast really quick. The movie stars Woody Harrelson, who's given an amazing performance as the elderly deep sea diver who is basically helping these new recruits and these new guys. We're also seasoned divers too, but he's helping them out. He's like their mentor. He's like the third member who's actually keeping track of where these two divers are and when they're on the bottom of the ocean, while they're down there fixing stuff. And you know what? His acting, Woody Harrelson is a great actor in all respect. And in this movie, he does a pretty good job. There's some parts that it's like he's kind of pushing it or a little bit struggling there, but you know what though? It's easy to bypass, and he does a great job overall in the movie as just somebody who's suffering so much guilt because of what happens in the movie. And then we also have Simu Liu, the actor from Shang-Chi and a bunch of other great TV shows and movies. He's in this movie, and he stars as another diver. And he's a little bit more hardened diver, a little bit more by the books. You follow the rules, you do everything you need to do. And he's another character in the movie that is there. He's one of the actual divers in the bottom of the ocean, and he's the one that actually is there during the incident that happens. He does a great performance playing that, you know, uh, give no F attitude he has. He is there with, you see him say, you know what, we're here for a mission, we do our job, and then we go home. We're not friends, and stuff like that. And how the situation brings out him, and he's like, whoa, this is crazy. I need to rethink my life and stuff like that. And our third actor, who we see pretty much throughout the movie, and that is Finn Cole. He does an amazing job in this movie. He is your main actor. You follow him throughout the whole movie. Um, yeah, his story and his character of Chris Lemons is the character, is the what this whole story's around, what he goes through, what everything he feels, and what's happening to him as he gets lost at sea, basically. Well, lost at the bottom of the ocean, actually. And he does an amazing job in his role. And you know what? This movie is effectively paced. It's only running about an hour and a half long, and that is a perfect time for this type of movie because there is a ticking clock in the movie, and believe, if I'm not mistaken, the ticking clock actually goes along with the movie. So when the incident happens, and from the end of the incident, there is a ticking clock, and you're actually watching it in real time as it goes on, and that's crazy to think about. And what's going on in this movie is so intense and scary, and that ticking clock builds up that tension like crazy. So my final thoughts on the movie is, you know what, this is one of those movies that it's a very emotional movie. It is very tense. I mean, there was times I was holding the seat, I was holding my wife's hand next to me. There are very much tense scenes, and it's not like a tense movie where like you see a horror movie, there's jump scares. No, this is like real life tension. You, I mean, my, I like try to control my breathing. In the movie they're saying, "Dude, hold your breath. Control your breathing." And I actually saw myself doing that during this movie. It is pretty crazy. So where do I put this on my Figgy Pop film chart? Well, actually, I'm going to put it over here. On the Figgy Pop film chart, it ranks from not fun to fun, and then from not good to good. Okay, this movie is not a fun movie by any stretch of the imagination. This movie is very tense. So I'm not going to put it really high on the fun scale, but on the good scale, it's going to go pretty far to the right. This is a really good movie. It's not fun. The overall end of the movie, you have a really good realization of what, not take life for granted, not to give up hope when there seems to be absolutely no hope at all. So that's the message of this movie, and that's what I took away from this movie. So as for a rating of the movie, I'm going to actually give it a 7 on the rating scale. It's a perfect movie to go see, not as a date night movie, but if you have nothing else to go do, I would say go see this movie. It's a great biopic, and you know what? It does have a heartfelt message at the end of the movie that I think is something we all can live by. Were you able to see Last Breath? Have you even watched it yet? Are you planning on watching it? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know your thoughts. And remember, guys, keep the spoiler free. I don't want to give away too many spoilers because, like I said, this is a movie that I think everybody should go see, and I think you should go in there blind. All right, guys, without further ado, until next time, this is JD with the Figgy Pop Clutter channel.
That concludes a Figgy Pop transmission.